So today we're doing a burn scar where the skin is just starting to heal, so it's starting to look more like skin but it's melted together. So we start off with making the gelatin mix, and to do this I use 1 part gelatin, 1 part glycerin and 1.5 parts water. This just makes it a bit runny but can also stiffer as it starts to set, so it's easy to work with and you can work with it consistently throughout the setting process. So I mix that all together before heating it up, and then I add a bit of red flocking, so this just adds kind of texture and colour within the gelatin, so it makes it look more like skin because our skin has red capillaries and stuff in it. So I just mix that all together until it's nicely mixed. Then I stick it in the microwave for 10 seconds at a time. I don't want to overheat it and boil it, otherwise that will just ruin the whole mixture that we've made. So after doing that, I add the flesh pigment, which can also just be a foundation of your colour, just to make it more skin tone before you add it onto your skin. That requires less painting later on. So just mix that all together and make sure it's well blended. Then I grab some skin tape and I just tape up my lip. So I got this idea from Jess, who made this awesome burn scar, which is what we're doing. Hers is a prosthetic, so this is more of like a at-home kind of way to do it if you're not yet into prosthetic. So you just tape up your lip to make it look like your lip has been burnt away, kind of thing. So just add as much tape as you need to make it strong. Obviously not too many layers, but the amount that I've put on you won't see underneath the gelatin as you start to cover it up. So just put on the gelatin after you've done a patch test to make sure that it's cool enough, and just kind of start working it around your face. Make sure you have a towel underneath you because it does start to get messy if it drips anywhere, so you don't want that on your clothes. So just pull the spatula away from your face after you've put the gelatin down, just to add some texture, so it'll bring up, as the gelatin starts to set, it will be easier to pull up. It's just like jelly on your face. So with this look, I would definitely go down the neck. I didn't go down the neck as I was just showing the technique on how to do it, but if you were using this as something, I definitely go down the neck. It's going to make it look more realistic. Make sure you clean off your spatula a lot more than I did, because I started getting dry bits in my makeup, which made the gelatin more textured, which was my problem. I think it was a bit too textured. And then I just add some tape over my eyelid to droop the eyelid down, and slowly start adding gelatin. Just add really little bits at a time because you're working around your eye area. Gelatin's hot, you don't want that in your eye. You want to be really careful, so just little bits at a time, and it also dries quicker if it's thinner, and it's quite uncomfortable having it on your eyelid while it's wet because you can't blink. You've got to let it dry before you can blink, otherwise you're going to ruin how it looks, so just let it dry. Then I put Vaseline over my eyebrow hairs just to stop my hairs from being pulled out completely when I pull off the gelatin, remove the gelatin. I think I lost a few eyebrows, but whatever. So just, again, careful around the eye area because you are working with hot liquid that drips and you don't want that going in your eyeball. And then kind of add the gelatin over the top of your nostril, because if you look at a burn scar victim, they don't have proper nice nostrils anymore. They're deformed and out of shape. And then I decided that my bottom lip was too pretty looking and wasn't textured enough, so I added more tape there, and as you can see I have trouble getting it to stick because I have saliva in my mouth and it doesn't stick when it's wet. So kind of just pushed it down and then added gelatin over the top, and it eventually stuck and came out alright. And then I kind of fused my nose to my cheek area just to make it look like my nose is kind of disappeared. Again, if you look at a burn scar victim, they're gonna have minimal facial features because the skin kind of just melts together, and as it starts to heal, that's the kind of effect that you get. So after all that, I powder my face just to mattify it and just to check that I'm happy with how it looks. After I do this when it's dry, obviously. It's going to be a bit sticky still, but you'll know when it's dry compared to when you were doing it. So if you just powder it, it also takes away some of the tackiness of it. So here you can see up close what it looks like once it's powdered. You can almost leave it like this if you wanted more of a healed time period than I have, but mine's just kind of like after it, your skin has just started to fuse back together. So I go in with the Rose Adjuster from the Skin Illustrator palette, very, very lightly. So this has a ton of alcohol in it and very minimal paint. So this just kind of starts your colouring off. You don't want to go in too heavy. And as you can see, the more alcohol you have, the runnier it is. So it just runs into the little crevices and gaps that are in the makeup area. So you can see it kind of fills up the holes and adds a lot more texture. And then I go in with a lot more alcohol and pat away the paint that's on the higher areas, because you want those to stay highlighted, and then you want the red in the crevices. And again, careful working around the eye area. You've got alcohol paints, they will burn your eyes if you use them too close. So maybe keep your eyes closed if you can. And then I repowder that to add a colour, more skin tone colour back onto the highlighted areas, just to make it look like it's more my skin, and make sure you blend it around your neck area as well to make it more realistic. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed.